Guys, I'm gonna give you a tip in this video to a state that you are not thinking of as this video begins. Yes, there's probably 1 or 2 or 3 states you're thinking of. I will mention them and I would tell you why they are good, but also I'm gonna give you the ultimate state that is one of my favorites when it comes to having opportunities to killing big bucks. Before we get to it, housekeeping. Some housekeeping notes. We are booking clients right now. You know the drill, guys. You've heard this a million times if you're a subscriber, and thank you for sticking with me. But we got to mention this for new people who are watching. If you want to book us a visit to your property, go to whitetaillandmanagementservices.com. Hit the contact button, send me an email. If you want more bucks on your property, you want to pull deer from your neighbor's property, if you want to learn more about food plots, how to make money on your property, how to take care of the timber on your property, what value your timber, all this good stuff, let's get it on the books. We book up. I'm not lying to you. I promise you, we book up. So if you want to get in the books, get a hold of me now. Let's get a date set up for you. Number 2, we got promo codes in the description for you guys. The coolest one is eurooptic.com. Code WLMSVTX, I believe, with the number 10 at the end. That will get you 10% off all optics. Otherwise, all Vortex optics. Otherwise, that's a lot of money. Think about it. That's pretty cool. Otherwise, go to WLM20 or type in WLM20 on vortexoptics.com for sweet apparel. But there is a state, and this does change from time to time. We've had these talks, guys, but there's a state that I think is one of the best when it comes to killing public land bucks. And now we've had these videos where we talk about what's the best state to hunt. Okay, that video is more about overall. What is the worst state to hunt? What is the best state to buy land in? These are all different. Some of you might think these answers are the same, and they're not, because they're all different for different reasons. There are states that if you want to kill a gigantic whitetail buck, I'm gonna be honest, none of you are thinking about right now. A lot of you think that, you're thinking about these prime states everybody goes to. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they are good. They're definitely good. But there's states that you guys aren't thinking about. And if there was ever an opportunity for me to take advantage of this and tell you about this for your benefit, now is the time. So we could talk about the Illinois. We could talk about Wisconsin for you diehard Wisconsin guys out there. We could talk about the Missouris. They're all good states. I'm not here to bag on them, but before we get to that best state, in my opinion, I want to mention a super good state that I love and I dislike before I get to the really, really good one that we can hunt more often. Hint, hint. Before I get to that one, I'm going to bring up Iowa. Iowa is a great state to hunt for public land whitetails, but the problem is you can't hunt it every year. Not mostly, at least. Yes, maybe if you're trying to draw a muzzleloader or a gun tag, you can hunt a little bit more often in the right zone. For those of you that are unfamiliar, you have to apply for that tag. It is super expensive. I'm taking all these things into account when it comes to killing public land deer. Do you want to spend dang near $1,000 on a tag for a whitetail after 5 years to go and only kill one public land deer, or do you want to go to a state that you can go to more often? Well, that state I'm going to bring up, but don't get me wrong, Iowa is up there if you can hunt it every year or hunt it often. But that state that I'm about to talk about is the state of Montana. Montana is one of those states, amongst others, Wyoming could be thrown in there, that nobody thinks about going for whitetail bucks. And I know I have some viewers from Montana, and you're probably hating me now. Well, don't worry, because most guys still won't take the dang trip out there, even though they should. They have a lot of opportunity out there to kill world-class, gigantic deer in Montana, guys. And everybody that does live out there spends most of their time hunting down muleys or elk. So these whitetails go to the wayside, and even if they aren't managed like they are in a state like Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, all this prime, Midwest hunting, they're left alone. They're not pressured nearly as much. The predators really, for the most part, aren't that bad in comparison to states like northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, northern Michigan, who have to deal with bears everywhere and deal with all these things. So really the predation factor isn't bad. Sure, there's coyotes and things like that, maybe the occasional wolf, depending on where you go into these mountainous states that do have prairie where whitetails roam. Montana being one of them, this is a state that I think gets overlooked often. There's so much river bottom ground where these bucks hide, and really that makes it simple to hunt them, guys, because they're in the river bottoms. You can look on a map and find the river bottoms, and if you can find a correlating food source or just spend time out there glassing for a day or two prior to a gun season that is in the middle of, you know, a great time of the year to hunt in Montana, it's not that hard to go out there and kill a respectable buck. You know, let's say you're the guy who's hunted high pressure whitetails your whole life and you just dream of the day you can kill a 140. I mean, some of you guys kill 160s on a consistent basis, but some of us don't get to. And even if you're killing 160s, trust me, there's 200s in Montana. So there's still something out there for you to chase. But if you're the guy who wants a good opportunity at a lot of deer and a lot of action and be able to see a lot of deer, you go to Montana. You go to the western states and you spend some time out there. You think, that's too far. Okay, well, then go to the big timber states and spend some time there, and you might have luck, but you also might not. So I think sometimes it's worth taking the long route, but the better route by going a farther away state where the pressure is less. You're not going to have to keep switching stands, dealing with other hunters, things like that. Just go, spend a little bit more money in the travel expenses, get your butt out to a state like Montana, and spend time hunting some whitetails. That is by far one of the most underrated states when it comes to hunting public land. And I think it will stay that way, along with some other states out there that I'm not going to mention, because there's some other ones that nobody's talking about, but you got to travel to them. And I understand it. That's not in everybody's budget to get out there. And that's okay, because there's still good states in the Midwest. But it's a whole different ball game out there. And if you have good glass, hey, use the Vortex Optics codes that I've been giving you guys. And you have good glass and a good scope on your gun, you can reach out and touch some of these animals and you can shoot a really nice buck. It's not far-fetched to go shoot yourself a nice Pope and Young. And if you're in the right spots of Montana, go kill yourself a world-class Boone and Crockett deer, because they are there. They are absolutely there. And the nice thing is even their archery seasons tend to open a little bit earlier out west too. So if you want to get on some of those summer patterns, we talked about that in other videos, so you know how that goes. It's not just all about gun season in this given scenario. So if you want to kill some big public land bucks, guys, head west. If you like these videos, guys, and you like these quick tips that we're bringing up, I would recommend that you subscribe, comment, and like on our videos, because if you do that, you're entered in our giveaways. We're always giving away some free, really cool gear, bows, and all kinds of stuff. So if you guys want free stuff, like, comment, subscribe. See you next one.